Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council for February 16th, 2012 order at 8:05 p.m. Coletti? Here. Chowinski? Here. Councilman Boncino is absent due to a family commitment. Councilman Work? Here. Mayor Moll? Here. We have a quorum.
Will everyone please rise for our prayer flag salute? Oh God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting which we trust to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and plant in a keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations or our decisions, Lord, please you, and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whereas Chapter 31 of the law states that there is a required commencement of each meeting. Start that over. Chapter 31 of the public law states that there is required the commencement of each meeting, as stated by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised that the meeting requirements of this meeting have been done by posting an annual notice in the Record of Act that normally the room of posting such notice in the office of borough clerk as well as in the public places in the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2012. And for those who are here, those who may be watching, these council meetings are televised on cable channel 77, Wednesday at 12 noon, Wednesday at 3 p.m., and Friday at 12 noon. And obviously they're on our websites at www.elmwoodparknj.us.
Mayor, at this time, we have the approval of minutes for the executive session of January 26th, 2012, the regular meeting of February 2nd, 2012, and the executive session for February 9th, 2012.
May I have a motion, please? So moved. Mr. Chowinski, second. Mr. Work, any discussion? Call roll. On all three.
On roll call, Councilmembers Castiglia?
Yes.
Coletti?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Chowinski?
Yes.
Boncino is absent. Work?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening under ordinances, on second reading, we have introduced ordinance 12-01. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Water. And whereas the ordinance was introduced and passed at the meeting held on Thursday, February 2nd, 2012, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. Whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning the same. And therefore be resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park entitled Water pass on final reading. Mayor, we need a motion to enter.
Motion to open the roll to the ordinance. So moved. Moved by Mr. Conboy, second.
Second.
Mr. Stigley, any discussion? All in favor? Is there any of the audience who wishes to be heard on the ordinance related to our water? No one wishes to be heard. Mr. Caswell, could you just explain that to the percentage we did?
Actually, Mayor, we have our Chief Financial Officer, wherever gets handled here. I'll take it.
Okay. The Passaic Valley Water Commission increased their rates wholesale by 5%. We will be also passing along that 5% to the taxpayer.
This is not a money-making deal for the borough. They're charging us 5% more. We're charging everybody else 5% because that's what we have to do. No one in the audience, can I have a motion to adopt the resolution, the ordinance?
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, second.
Second.
Mr. Castiglia, any discussion? Call the roll.
On roll call, Councilmember Castiglia?
Yes.
Coletti?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Chowinski?
Yes.
Boncino is absent. Work?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening we have introduction of the 2012 municipal budget, Resolution 78-12. Ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. Whereas the local government cap law, NJSA 40A 4-45.1 et cetera, provides that in the preparation of its annual budget, a municipality shall limit an increase of said budget up to 2.5% unless authorized by ordinance to increase it by 3.5% over the previous year's final appropriation, subject to certain exceptions. Whereas NJSA 40A 4-45.15A provides the municipality may, when an authorized ordinance is adopted, appropriate the difference between the amount of the actual final appropriation and the 3.5% rate as an exception to its final appropriations in either of the next two succeeding years. Whereas the governing body of the Borough of Menlo Park and the County of Bergen finds it advisable and necessary to increase its calendar year 2012 budget by up to 3.5% over the previous year's final appropriations in the interest of promoting the health, safety, and welfare of its citizens. Whereas the governing body hereby determines that a 1% increase in the budget for said year amounting to $169,356 in excess of the increase of final appropriations otherwise permitted by the local government capital is advisable and necessary. Whereas the governing body hereby determines that any amount authorized herein above that is not appropriated as part of the final budget shall be retained as an exception to final appropriation in either of the two succeeding years. Now therefore be it ordained by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Menlo Park and the County of Bergen that a majority of the full authorized membership of this governing body affirmatively concurring that calendar year 2012 budget and final appropriations of the Borough of Menlo Park shall, in accordance with NJSA 40A 4-45-15, be increased by 1% amounting to $169,356 that the calendar year 2012 municipal budget for the Borough of Menlo Park be approved and adopted in accordance with this ordinance. Be it further ordained that any amount authorized herein above is not appropriated as part of the final budget shall be retained as an exception to final appropriation in either of the two succeeding years. Be it further ordained that a certified copy of this ordinance as introduced be filed with the Director of the Division of Local Government Services within 5 days of introduction. Be it further resolved that the certified copy of this ordinance upon adoption will include the recorded vote included thereon and filed with the Director of the Division of Local Government Services within 5 days of introduction.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Word, second.
Second.
Mr. Castillo, any discussion? Call the roll.
On roll call, council members Castiglia,
Yes.
Valetti,
Yes.
Conboy,
Yes.
Kowinski.
Yes.
Monsino is absent. Work.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening we have the introduction of the 2012 municipal budget. Be it resolved that the following statement of revenues and appropriations hereto attached constitute the local budget of the Borough of Menlo Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey for the year 2012. Be it further resolved that the said budget be published in the record of the issue of February 25th, 2012, and that a hearing on said budget will be held in the municipal building on April 5th, 2012 at 8 p.m. or soon thereafter as the matter can be reached.
Motion, please.
So. Okay. So. Second.
Valetti, second, Mr. Conboy. Mr. Rigatano, would you just explain that a little bit?
This
Mr.
evening,
Rigatano is our Chief Financial Officer.
This evening, we're in the process of doing an introduction to 2012 municipal budget. The law requires us to have an introduction by March, so we're right on cue. The hearing will be, as the clerk said, in April. Happy to report that the increase is below the 2% cap, as you've been reading through the newspapers, through the governor's office. We're at 1.8%. The actual increase right now is at $89 a house, assessed at $335,000, and the tax point this year is $205,000. Last year, for the public, it was also $205,000 was the tax point also. The council basically has been keeping the taxes low, and again, did quite a few cuts before we got to this evening. And I think $89 in this economic times is rather well, especially if we're below what the governor and the legislation is requesting at a 2%. We're at 1.8.
And we have how much time before we have to adopt it?
We have 45 days, minimum of 45 days from this evening to when we have a hearing. And on that evening, we're hopefully going to either amend, if it's less than 10% in the amendment on any line item, we can adopt that same evening.
Thank you.
Mayor, through you, I did misspeak. The advertisement for the budget will be Wednesday, February 22nd edition of the record. And just to piggyback off Mr. Rigatano's statements, public hearing for the 2012 municipal budget will be held on the 5th of April.
I did ask for a motion to.
Yes, you did. Motion made by Councilman Coletti, second by Conley.
Call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Castiglia,
Yes.
Coletti,
Yes.
Conboy,
Yes.
Chouwinski,
Yes.
Valentino is absent, Work.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, Roy.
Thank you.
Mayor, this evening under the consent
By
agenda,
the way, I just want to indicate that if people are not happy with taxes, we're all, doesn't matter, just the guy to blame. No, I'm only joking.
Thank you.
And we will probably be, not probably, we will be looking at that budget again, and there may be some reductions that we can still make. We have to do this evening to get it in, so that we can adopt it by April. Thank you, Mr. Regan.
Mayor, this evening under the consent agenda, we have Resolution 80-12, payment of bills, Resolution 81-12, prepaid bill list, Resolution 82-12, appointment of hearing officer, the Honorable Frank Donato, Resolution 83-12, 2011 Length of Service Awards Program, Resolution 84-12, refund overpayment due to appeal to the New Jersey Tax Court, Glenwood Plaza, Resolution 85-12, refund overpayment due to appeal of New Jersey Tax Court, Penn Color, Resolution 86-12, refund overpayment due to tax appeal for the New Jersey Tax Court, 465 Boulevard Association, Resolution 87-12, execution of recycling professional tonnage grant assistance program, Resolution 88-12, appointment of part-time employees for the Recreation Department's President Week camp sessions, and Resolution 89-12, resolution to resolve a pending disciplinary matter within the Police Department regarding Police Officer Joseph Freed.
Motion, please. Mr. Chouwinski, second.
Second.
Councilman President Burke. Any discussion? Call the roll.
On roll call, Councilmembers Castiglia,
Yes.
Coletti,
Yes.
Conboy,
Yes.
Chouwinski.
Yes.
Valentino is absent, Work.
Yes.
Motion carried. Mayor, this evening under applications, we have the First Presbyterian Church of Carlstadt for their 50-50 raffle.
Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Jones. Councilman Chouwinski, second by Councilman Burke. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? So ordered.
And we do not have any departmental reports tonight.
Committee reports. Mr. Castiglia.
Yes, ma'am. Planning board has been fairly quiet. The two applications I announced as pending 2 weeks ago have been approved. There's an FGO Trucking, which will be opening a new office at 630 Boulevard. That's the Food Tile building on the Boulevard side. The truck terminal itself is over on East 54th Street, so this address is just going to be an office. All Appliance Fix is the name of an appliance repair office opening at 278 Broadway, that's across the street from Firestone. This again is just an office. Most of the business will be by phone or on the internet, and the repair technicians will respond from other sites. They won't be coming and going at this location. It's just an office. Yesterday, Councilman Coletti, Chouwinski, and myself met with the DPW on their contract. There was the second meeting, and it looks like negotiations are moving right along. Looks pretty good that we might be able to resolve this with one more meeting, I'm hopeful to say. One more thing I want to talk about, Mayor. For the residents who expressed concerns over the possible police merger, I want to remind everybody that was concerned that any talks that we were thinking about getting involved in with the county over that was to seek information. However, we did discuss it again at the work meeting last week, and we won't be pursuing any more talks with the county on that subject as of this time. Okay, that's it, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Conboy. Councilman, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of quick notes. You just heard a few minutes ago Mr. Rigatano speak, and the mayor spoke a little bit about the budget. I just want to point out to folks, as the mayor indicated, there's still a lot of, still some more things that have to be done. More meetings with this, but the number that Mr. Rigatano quoted out, the $89 for the year, which works out to about $22.25 per quarter on an average house, about $335. Keep in mind, that's just us. That's just our municipal piece. We still have to worry about what the county comes in at, although I understand Councilman Chouwinski, as you all know, updates us constantly on the updates over there. I know they've been working hard on their budget. They did last year. I'm sure they'll make some more cuts this year, so hopefully that will help us out. if you know this or you don't know it, if the Board of Education comes in below the cap, it does not have to go out for vote to the public to approve their budget. So I'm sure they'll do everything they can to come in under cap to ensure that the budget's not voted on. So depending on what happens there and there, here and there, we should be hovering around this number a little bit. Again, just remember though, the numbers you heard quoted tonight just represents our municipal government. Couple things.
Mr. Conway?
Yeah.
The school board will be voting in November.
Right. Right. Everything's been changed in November. But again, if they come in under the cap, all you'd be voting on is board members. Go ahead, Mr. Clerk or Mayor, you want to say
I
something?
was acknowledging that they'd only be voting on members of the Board of Education.
Mayor of the Board of Education. I wasn't gonna, since Councilman Castiglia brought up the topic, I'm sure the safe route would be to say I agree, and what he said regarding the county. But I am gonna say, and I know I see the president of the PBA is in the audience, Dave Myers, who I respect tremendously, as we all do. I just want to emphasize, at the last work meeting, the council did vote. I myself, I'll only speak for myself, this whole idea, and I've made my points clear to anyone who's asked me, yes, we've heard people come to us and voice their opinions. All very good, valid points. I've heard from a lot of department heads, mostly from within the borough regarding this. But this was only a fact-finding exploration. 2 years from now, or a year from now, the state may say, you have to merge with Saddlebrook and share police forces there. And if you don't, X amount of your federal funds will be held up if you don't. So this governing body, since I've been sitting on this council, and as your finance chair, we've explored all options. And so far, due to some hard work of everyone here, we've done some really great things in consolidating certain areas. I am not again at all, please, it's on TV, it'll be on the record. I'm not advocating that this would have been a thing we would have pursued. But all we were trying to do was to hear a proposal, or hear what their objects were. Like anything else, as anyone knows, I know in government life, nobody wants to hear what happens out in the business world. You have to explore all options. We have businessmen right here in the room. I'm sure every one of them have a favorite vendor. I'm sure there's new vendors who come in all the time and says, hey, I can beat this one's price, or I could do that. As a business owner or as a council person, you have a due diligence for your public, or the residents who put you up here, to explore all options, popular or not popular. Again, I want to be clear. I am not advocating that the county should come over here and take over our community. It's no different than getting a proposal from anybody else for us to at least explore. So I just want to be, not disagreeing with my fellow councilmen, just saying that I thought we should, in my opinion, at least any proposal we may get from any neighboring town or any agency, whether it be county, state, whatever, I think we have an obligation, just an obligation to look at it. Doesn't mean anything's going to happen from it. With that, I just hope everybody had a wonderful Valentine's Day this week. Congratulations to all our Giant fans. And finally, I want to thank all the parents who chose to use, it's the first time ever, we're doing a President's Week camp. The schools are off next week, the public schools here in town, and already it's up to about 32 children have taken advantage of that. That's excellent. Some will say it's a low number. For the first time ever, 32 is a great number, and that's 32 parents, or a single mom, or a single dad, or a grandma, or a family member be raising maybe their relative, or whatever it may be. They have a place to go. They're going to have a lot of fun. The theme is President's Week. So I want to congratulate the rec on getting that off the ground. Also want to remind everybody, if you remember a couple of weeks ago, we voted to extend and change some hours at the recreation. So on Monday, it's President's Day with the recreation. The main office will be closed, but the recreation department will be open for a place for your children to enjoy. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. For those who may be watching, those in the audience who may have forgotten, it's going to be President's Day. It's Washington and Lincoln. It doesn't mean all the presidents. And if you remember, Lincoln was born on February 12th, Washington on February 22nd. So we've combined everybody into President's Day, And sooner or later, we wouldn't even remember that Lincoln and Washington were our presidents. And they had a separate day.
Does that include Keith also? He's president.
Council president. He's gonna have a day. So we're gonna
No,
initiate-
it's election day, November, that's when you can judge.
Councilman Coletti?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I also wish everybody had a nice Valentine's Day. It was a special day for me. I was married 42 years on the 14th. And I believe Mr. Chwinsky had an anniversary this week also, 16?
16, 38 years.
Special day.
60 years?
The 16th February.
Oh,
Today.
that's 16 years.
They made it here tonight, 38 years.
I thought you said 60.
The next,
Why don't you step down so you can go out? It's your anniversary.
You want to renew your vows, the mayor's here.
Yeah, I can do that.
Not without a prenup this time, right?
I'm sorry, Mr. Coletti.
yes, the next school board meeting is February 28th, which I'm looking forward to attending. And regarding the repairs at the Gilbert Avenue School, our engineer's report mirrored the school district's engineer's report in terms of repairs that are needed. However, ours went on to say there is no immediate danger or instability, but steel lintels need to be replaced, adding that these repairs can be made in periodic phases. I also this week had the opportunity to attend the fire chief's meeting with Mr. Chewinski. The meeting went well, and it was nice to be back with those guys who do an awful lot for this town and get so little. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Councilman Chouinski.
Thank you, Mayor. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody, and to my wife too. Happy I attended the DIF meeting on Wednesday. From this January to last January, the workman's compensation claims went up, and they're still scratching their heads there why, but there was no snow, but we're still getting claims. I can't tell you about what the claims are, but some of them are quite ridiculous. At the executive meeting with the DIF members, which, by the way, this past Wednesday I was appointed an alternate member to that board, the DIF, in an effort to encourage member police departments to pursue accreditation, the South Bergen DIF Executive Committee is authorizing grants for all members of the South Bergen Joint Insurance Fund. And this is for all the police and law enforcement that are involved in DIF. They're going to provide a $25,000 grant to help fund the accreditation, which takes no more than 2 years at the outset of it. And I'll be giving this paperwork to our police department if they're interested. I'm sure they will be. Also, at the fire department, reports came back this past month. The rescue truck got more use than their fire trucks for some reason. On February 25th, from 10 o'clock to 2 p.m., Company 4 on the Boulevard is having a blood drive. Also, at the fire department meeting, what's left of the top brass the police department attended, which was very nice. I was very impressed at the way they got along with our fire department and our soon-to-be chief. Some good positive things came out of that for the safety and welfare of the town, and I think they're going to have a very good working report. Lastly, at the fire department also, they discussed the ongoing ordinance we're in the process of, we drafted the first draft where our fire department, as well as our police department, which does get reimbursed in a state of emergency. And if we pass this ordinance, they will be able to receive FEMA funds and all that normally go to other towns too, but they'll be reimbursed for the standby time, any equipment they use, which will help our budget a little.
Thank you. Councilman Ward?
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr.
No, Councilman Truinsky just reminded me when he mentioned FEMA. I wanted to mention before that Scott Carrs, the superintendent of the DPW, has been working with them since the storm in August, the hurricane in August. And it looks like that we might be getting up to $130,000 back from them to cover expenses for that storm. So it's a good
That's
thing.
just the August storm.
That's just the August storm, it's not that snowstorm. It's the hurricane.
We can't look at the snowstorm, right?
That's going to be the next one, sure.
Can't complain about that
No.
snowstorm. Since then, we haven't had another snowstorm, so. And it is.
On Monday.
Thank you, Mayor. Neilwood Park Health Department will be continuing offering free adult consultation and child health clinics to the residents of Elmwood Park. The next adult consultation clinic for the year will be held February 21st, Tuesday morning, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the private clinic room in the municipal building. This clinic is available for adults from 18 years old and older. No appointment is required, and walk-in residents are welcome. Next child health clinics will be held on March 1st, which is a Thursday, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., and on March 6th, which is a Tuesday, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Also, just so that immunizations required by the Board of Education are available at these child clinics. Once again, these clinics offer free well visits and free immunizations for families that are underinsured or uninsured. These clinics are by appointment only. Please call the Elmwood Park Board of Health at 201-796-1457, extension 604 to set up your appointment. Both of these clinics are held in the clinic room in the lower level of the municipal building. You can use the Market Street exit for these clinics. As I stated at the last meeting, there was good news regarding Elmwood Park Board of Health. We are currently have a meeting planned with another town regarding sharing our health officer and health department. Hopefully we'll be able to bring in another town to share our health officer, lessen the load on the Elmwood Park taxpayers. Basically, like I also said last time, additional towns may be interested due to the fact that Bergen County Health Department is cutting their staff. As a matter of fact, yesterday, Bergen County Health Department cut their spending on medical health program by 25%. So this is going to give us an opportunity in Elmwood Park to share additional services with possibly additional towns. And Bergen County is doing this for a reason. They had a dramatic reduction in revenues received, so they had to reduce staff and programs in certain departments in order to minimize the increase on taxes. As a matter of fact, they also decreased their overtime hours by almost 1,200 hours. So they're doing their due diligence also. I would also like to congratulate our health department securing a grant from the Rutgers, New Jersey Quality Improvement Mini Grant Program for local health departments. Our department was chosen along with 11 other health departments out of 90 applicants. They received a $2,500 grant. Although it may be small, everything helps. Also like to remind everyone to license your pets. Remember, all Elmwood Park dogs, cats must be licensed. There will be no late fee in February, but beginning on March 1st, there will be a $10 late fee. $10 late fee will be imposed. Also, let's like to give a warning out to the senior citizens of Elmwood Park. Apparently, a company calling themselves Senior Helpline is marketing the low-income residents that they'll receive $100 cash back per month from Medicaid. When these residents get a call, an insurance agent will be calling them back and attempt to enroll them in the HMO insurance plan. Just to show you, there's two of the misleading flyers that are going around. Hopefully you can pick that up. That's one. And the other one here. Just to add, this company is not registered with the state. So if you see these flyers, please spread the word in this regard. Okay? Thank you.
If I can just add to Council President Work's report, if there's anyone here, anyone watching who has someone knock on their door, ring their doorbell, and they're not confident that they really are allowed to do the campaigning or the soliciting, please disregard them. If you feel uncomfortable, call the police department, and by no means let them in your house. Okay, so be alert on some of those items. On my report, as Councilman Castiglia mentioned, the FEMA may be paying us that kind of money, and we still have to go over the report for the snowstorm that came later in October. I would like to personally, I think the whole council would agree, thank our DPW Superintendent Scott Cars, who hasn't been feeling well for the last 2 weeks. He's been out, and he's been in, and he's been out, and he's done all these reports at home. So even though he's taken some sick days, he still comes in, and then when he goes home, he works in the evening at home to do this. I took a little stroll the other day into the waterworks. I think I mentioned at every meeting that they're supposed to start cleaning that area up. $95,000 this year to clean the waterworks property, and I think it's $350 to start doing some additional work to make the walking path through there. What I did see were quite a few dead or damaged trees that were marked, and they'll be taken down. And some of them of substantial height, and Some of them are located near the residents on Washington Avenue, near their property, so those are the trees that they're going to be cutting down, and they'll be clearing up the areas along the Boulevard and along East 54th Street. So hopefully that's going to take place soon. The Parks Director is not pleased the way things are going, not that anybody's giving him a problem, but the state laws that demand you have to go out for bid to get contractors to go do that work. And one of the things I just want to comment on was the convoy statement. I don't necessarily disagree, but one of the problems that we do have is we don't know if the freeholders are still going to have a county police department. There's a $600,000 report out that may be merging with the sheriff, so we don't know who you're going to be talking to. The police department may or may not be there by the end of the year, so we're in the bind on some of that material. May I have a motion to open to the public?
Can I add something just for sure? I didn't say this before, I'm sorry. It still is, and it is today. It's National American Heart Health Month this month, just a reminder. And also, we're talking about the county budget, as Mr. Work had alluded to. Last night's meeting, they started their budget hearings weeks ago. Went to 1 o'clock last night.
Wow.
1 o'clock.
You were there?
Yeah.
You trying to keep up with us?
Yeah.
Doing good.
According to the mayor, they have major groups coming.
That plus, but that was because two of them went with the first one, because of the budget cuts to the mental health program. Over 150 people. The pipeline was another story. But during the day, the ongoing budget process is endless.
Mayor, is there anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard? If not, I'll close the public. No, I see a hand going. Mr. Conti?
I'll be short.
Is there anyone else besides Mr. Conti? Steve, you can add, no, you have to leave
You
it
got it.
behind.
Tom's got it.
I'll be short. Not that much.
I've been short all my life, as you know.
Steve Conti, 274 Market Street. Couple bullet points. What about the clock? Anything on that?
Yeah, we're going to be working with the clock as soon as we get done, and the county helps us with paving the boulevard from River Road all the way down to Saddle.
Okay.
And that intersection is going to be white.
Okay. Those railroad cars along the boulevard to 46 and also on Market Street. I mean,
Steve, if I called once, I've called 500 times.
they are empty, right?
Yes, they are. And we called, well, I'll tell you exactly what they told me. Because of the lag in the stores selling products and so forth, these railroad cars are not being used as frequently as they were, and they're storing them. And they run out of storage space up in New York State and wherever, and they're now looking for places to store them. I've called I don't know how many times. It's a difficult situation with the railroad, and they know we don't like it. When I call, sometimes they move them back one way, move the other way, and it took me an enormous amount of time just to get them to not bring them past Route 46 and what they did on that area, so you can't go past Route 46 on the railroad.
You were bringing up about the cleanup of the future county park. What about cleaning up along River Road? I brought up last number of times in the past about the downed trees along the side of the road. There's a lot of issues along River Road that need to be addressed as well.
I spoke to Scott Cars just today, and we have some down trees that are on the other side of the railing of the river.
Right.
We'll be getting to them. We have had some illnesses down at the DPW, we're short some people, and he promised that he's going to get to that because you're absolutely right, it doesn't look good.
What's going on with the library and their funds?
They're working on a plan to do some construction in the library.
Okay?
They're gonna spend it all, Steve.
They are.
I understand there's an email, I haven't read it yet. I understand there's an email that came to the council. They're gonna spend, their plan is 1.3 million. They're gonna spend it all.
That's incorrect.
No? Okay.
That's incorrect. We don't have any idea how much it's going to cost us, so how can they spend it all?
Does the report say that, Mr. Casmark? You saw it, you sent it to us, right?
I'll be honest, I forwarded it to you, it's still sitting on my desk for review, because I was out when I got to it.
They will spend only what they have to spend.
Did any of the council members read the email already?
I read it.
I don't care what the email says, they'll spend what they have to spend.
They can give you any email they want. Question, what are they gonna do?
We did ask for their report, and we haven't seen, although I understand it's in the email, isn't it, Mr. Cashmore?
There is an attached report to the email.
So the report's done.
You got
Mhm.
this.
You got it yesterday? How much?
Yeah, you got this. It looked like every $1,300,000 the totals, but that's if they do everything on their list.
It's a lot of work for a little building.
When it's public, then.
Whatever. I see on this about police negotiation for the police chief's contract. After the contract is finalized and after the new chief is sworn in, I'm curious as to, is there any thoughts about hiring any police, first of all? Because you are a little short down there.
That will have to be taken up after the budget's adopted, and this council deems it's necessary to hire someone.
Is his contract going to be similar to the outgoing chief? I know you can't comment, but, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that may be taken out.
Thing that's bothered me in the past, and I've been bringing up for many years that I've been coming down, have we ever figured out how much Mr. Langen was fined for not maintaining his property prior to him building?
I have no idea.
That's the same answer I got last time.
Keith, can you find out?
I will. Thank you.
Anyone else who wishes to be heard? Yes.
Good evening. John Wareka, 10 Elmwood Drive, Elmwood Park, and 199 Market Street in Elmwood Park. And I just would like to question Councilman Work regarding shared services with the Health Department. Unless I'm wrong, correct me if I am, we talk about having shared services with other towns, Saddlebrook.
Right.
Okay. But currently, what I've been told, what I'm hearing, is that there's not even a vehicle that's supplied for our health officer for her to make inspections in our own town.
Well,
So,
I'm sorry, you
That's-
currently she's sharing a vehicle with the building department. Right now, she's going to be allocated a car. One of the police cars that was turned in will be converted and it will be given to the health
but
department.
is she making inspections?
She's making inspections right now.
She is?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And through you, Councilman, through you, Mayor, Councilman Work, the title to change the plates, the title was turned over today, and Captain Johnson will be changing the plates on that vehicle from police-issued plates to municipal government plates, and then the keys will be handed over to the health.
How long do you think that'll take?
Not more than a week.
Thank you. Anyone else who wishes to be heard? If not, you've got 15 minutes, Mr. Conlon.
Yeah.
May I have a motion to adjourn? He started to take.
Actually, Mayor, I just may have 1 second, please. I just want to, this is a deep hole that you step in, and I just want to, again, we all agree regarding issues of the county. I just want to reemphasize a comment the mayor made, and I agree with him on his comment about the report. I am not, again, advocating that we would be on the county. I know the report says they may not even be around 3 months from now. I'm just stating that anything that comes across our desk or any options, we should explore. If we didn't explore these things, we wouldn't have the great building department that's running. And Councilman Work, I don't know what town he's talking about yet that wants to merge with our health department, but there was a lot of resistance about doing that, and this council kept pushing it through. So now you're looking at even getting a third town in, and if we get a third town in, it starts to become gravy. You guys can correct me if you looked at the numbers. That's all I'm stating. I know I'm probably digging myself deeper in a hole. It's not about the county, it's not about our PBA. We all know they're wonderful. I just want to state that, just looking at proposals, that was it. Thank you, Mayor.
Well, an old statement, when you feel you've dug yourself a hole, the only way to get out is stop digging.
Well,
And they have a motion.
I feel a big hole.
Mayor, I need to read an executive session resolution. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances. And whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss negotiations with the proposed police chief's agreement. And
minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes will be made public. Now therefore be it resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting. Mayor will need a motion to go into executive.
Motion. Conboy, second. Work, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered. And may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Before we do that, let me just indicate once again
Uh-oh.
that the meeting is on television, channel 77, on Wednesday, 12 o'clock, noon, Wednesday, 3 p.m., and Friday at 12 noon, or on our website, www.elmwoodparknj.us. We do not have any responsibility for the dates. The Cablevision gives us the dates, gives us the time and the day, so we have to go along with them. And just for your information here, when we submit our preference, we have to submit it on the day requested. If it's the day before, if it's the day after, they won't accept it, so we have to do it on that day. I wish we could spread it out a little bit more. Sometimes we do get a greater spread than others, but we're doing the best we can. And I want to thank everybody who's here, and wish you good evening. Motion to adjourn is passed. So moved.
You didn't return my Valentine's Day card.
I don't know, you guys are wishing everybody a happy Valentine's. It was 14th.
I got some.
Past already.
You said